Winter sunshine. A winter morning coldly strokes the gaping hole in Shizuko's heart. 5 years have passed since she lost her husband, Koji. Although she distracts herself with her daily work and hobbies, deep in her heart she still searches for his warmth. She is 52 years old. She continues to live alone, working as an editor at a small publishing company. Since her husband Koji passed away in an accident, she has been focused on her work and has never thought about love. People around her encourage her to remarry, but Shizuko's heart is stubborn. No matter who she is with, she compares him to Koji. Shizuko can never forget his gentle voice, the warmth of his hands, and the smile he showed her at the end. One day, at her favorite cafe, as usual, Shizuko was reading a book when a man sat down in front of her. "Is it okay for me to sit here?" When she looked up, a man who seemed to be in his mid-50s was smiling at her. He looked good in a suit, and his eyes looked tired, yet somehow gentle. "Yes, you can." Shizuko casually turned her gaze back to the book, but when he saw the title of the book she was holding, he spoke in a surprised voice. "I read the same one recently, too. It's a wonderful story, isn't it?" Surprised by the coincidence, Shizuko smiled a little. That was the start of a conversation about books. His name was Tatsuya. He was the sales manager of a pharmaceutical company, and it was his habit to stop by this cafe during his breaks. From that day on, Shizuko and Tatsuya began to talk more often. At first, it was just trivial talk about books, but gradually it began to involve work and family matters. "I lost my husband in an accident 5 years ago." Shizuko's voice was trembling slightly. "Is that true?" "Actually, I lost my wife to cancer 10 years ago. At that time, my daughter was still young, so I was always busy with work and childcare. But recently, my daughter got married, and I feel like I have more time." His words made Shizuko's heart flutter. "Is that so?" Tatsuya's gaze became gentle, and a quiet empathy flowed between the two of them. Because they both knew the pain of loss, they could communicate without words. Since then, the distance between them has rapidly narrowed. They began to eat meals together more often, and eventually Tatsuya asked her to marry with him. However, Shizuko was conflicted. She was certainly attracted to Tatsuya. But at random moments, the image of her late husband flashed across her mind. When he held her hand, she thought it was different from Koji's. When he hugged her gently, she felt that his arms were holding hers with a different strength. "I'm sorry. I still can't sort out my feelings." With that, Shizuko put Tatsuya's proposal on hold. He just smiled gently and said, "I'll wait." For the next few weeks, Shizuko continued to face her own feelings. And finally, she decided to throw herself into Tatsuya's arms. On a winter's night, Shizuko was invited to Tatsuya's home and was drinking wine in front of the warm stove. While sitting next to him, she suddenly looked out the window. It was snowing. Gazing at the scene of white crystals falling quietly, Shizuko slowly turned to face Tatsuya. "I want to move forward with you, Tatsuya." Hearing those words, Tatsuya gently touched Shizuko's cheek. His hands were different from Koji's, but she felt that difference was comfortable. Their lips gently touched, and she felt the strength leave Shizuko's body. Slowly, Tatsuya's arms wrapped around her. The emotions she had been keeping bottled up deep in her heart overflowed, and Shizuko gently closed her eyes and put her arms around Tatsuya's back. That night, In Tatsuya's arms, Shizuko felt the passionate feelings she had long forgotten slowly return. In the morning, when she woke up, Tatsuya was smiling gently at her. "Good morning, Shizuko." Shizuko smiled back at his words. Her past love for Koji hadn't changed. But now, Tatsuya was by her side. There was a love there that was as gentle and warm as a spot of winter sunshine.